enormously expensive gold watches for you, and you, and you, and... It's natal day. Oh, joy to me. Hooray, hooray.
Chad, with you are the utter flaming ultimate. I mean, giving us watches to celebrate your birthday, I mean.
Yes, I am rather sporty, amn't I? There will now be great gobs of appreciative, unsolicited applause. And now for the pièce de résistance. You are all invited, social position notwithstanding, to attend a gala soirée at my palatial home. Halt, peasants, I command you. Didn't you hear? You were invited to Osborne Manor.
Thanks anyhow, Chancellor Phil. I've got to get home and study. I'm weeks behind in history.
Well, no. Come back. Please, compatriots, schoolmates.
Today on Jodie in Malibu, we're going to be talking to a young woman and her daughter. It's a very serious topic. She was an actress who I happen to have gone to school with at Hollywood Professional School in Hollywood, California. And I would like to say hi to you because it's been years, and I'm so happy you've come on the show.
Hi, Jodie. Thank you for having me.
And hello. So we have Julie Thompson, and we have Krystal Sanchez, mother and daughter. Yes. This is actually a very serious topic, so I'm kind of like smiling and everything. But I want to start out by, we all know that you were an actress.
Yes.
You know, I remember you in high school, and you've done a lot of things, from Gypsy to Gilby Gillis. But after you were an actress, you went down, kind of way down into a bad
I did.
Yes. What happened? How did this? I mean, how did it happen? You go to a Hollywood school, you're a Hollywood actress, you're beautiful, and then what happened?
Wrong place at the wrong time. I did the drugs, tried them, and one of them got me forever.
Which
and that was heroin.
Heroin. Back in those days, which I'd say probably around the 60s, everybody was smoking pot. We still do today.
Right.
But, you know, it's just how many people really go down to, you know, like you said, heroin. But after you were acting, what did you do as far as work?
I went to school to be a beautician.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh.
And so I worked as that. But then I had other jobs in between. On the job training, I was a secretary, receptionist, you know, like that.
And then,
but in the meantime, I was working, but I was able to work because I wasn't that hooked yet.
I see.
So then, once I got hooked, I couldn't work anymore.
Now, didn't you also, you were a stripper for a while, weren't you?
Yes, I was,
Yes,
I came back, and I worked at the Playboy Club, but I was a stripper first, and then I went to work at the Playboy Club.
How did you get yourself into the Playboy Club?
Well, I was a stripper, and this man, Pavarotti, I still believe till this day that was him. And he had an Italian accent, and he came up to me and he says, "Why are you working in a place like this? It just doesn't seem to me like you should be working in a place like this. Why don't you go to work for the Playboy Club?" And I thought to myself, well, I can't, they wouldn't want me. He goes, "Yes, they would. Yes, they would." So he says, "I'll pick you up in the morning," you know, and I thought, oh, he's got some kind of other intentions, you know. And no, he picked me up, took me to the Playboy Club, in front of the Playboy Club, and I thought he was going to come in with me, and he goes, "Go up to," I think it was the 10th floor, knock on the bunny mother's door, and then ask her if she needs a bunny. And I said, "You're not coming in with me?" And he goes, "No, you'll be fine, you'll be fine." So I went up there, I stuck my hand in there, knocked on the door, she said, "Come in." I said, "Do you need another bunny?" And she says, "I sure do."
Wow, that was easy.
Yes,
So how long were you a bunny for?
about a year.
And at this time of being a bunny, you weren't doing drugs? Or you weren't hooked yet, I should say?
I wasn't hooked yet, no. I was doing like a little bit of acid, weed, you know, a couple of pills here and there. Yeah.
And who introduced you to heroin?
A drug dealer.
Were you just at a bad time of your life where you just said, "The hell with it, I'm just going to try it," or whatever?
Yeah, and then he said to me, "If you do this drug, it's going to ruin your whole life." You know, but I thought, well, you guys don't look, you know, like you're having a bad time. You know, believe me, it'll ruin your whole life. And I did it.
And you did
and it? 35 years later.
I mean, that's really, that's unusual, I would think, for a drug, you know, dealer to say that. You think they'd say, "Hey, this is great, it's going to do that," you know, so they get you to keep coming back.
No, well, no. But we had fallen in love, and you know,
So, and you were on heroin for 35
5 years.
Now, how did you keep up your habit?
Prostitution and then, you know, getting married and, you know.
Were you a prostitute while you were married?
No,
No,
in between.
in between. So this went on for 35 years, and
Yes.
I know you have 2 daughters,
Yes,
and one of them is here today.
yes.
When you hear this story, which obviously you probably lived it too, how do you feel about it?
Reliving it and talking about it is kind of relieves. I relived the stress of it. It was very, very stressful because during the time, you know, when I mean, it was off and on throughout my life, but the biggest part was when it was just my mom and I. I was probably about between the ages of 8 and 10, and I had to be the mom. I was the mom.
It was the role reversal.
Yes, I had to, you know, I was always worried about, you know, where she was at, you know, what she was going to make me do. There'd be times where it wasn't just heroin, she would do other drugs, and, you know, we would be up all night cleaning the house with toothbrushes, you know, and then I would have to be, you know, just really cleaning the house. I mean, you know, making sure, like, all the tile and stuff was clean or whatever, and, you know, I'm like, well, if she's going to be up, I'll stay up with her. To make sure she was okay. You know,
So you were like a caretaker too?
Yes.
Caretaker mother.
Yes. I did the cooking, the cleaning.
And did you ever try to help her get off of it, or was that almost impossible?
I did over and over again. I was the one that was there
For me.
all the time. So I never left her side.
So you kind of had a life that you really didn't have a life of your own at the time, did you?
Once in a while, like in between her, what's the word?
Cleanup?
Her cleanups, you know, I would have friends over, but while she was doing that, I was too embarrassed. It was too much. I wouldn't have been able to be a good host to my friends and have to watch her, because when she was on it, it was 24-hour watch. There was times where I wasn't even able to go to school. I went to school right across the street, and I couldn't go to school.
So you didn't even sleep? Did you just go sometimes without sleeping?
Well, yeah, if I was on meth or cocaine, yeah.
So you were on meth and cocaine and heroin. My goodness.
But heroin was my choice of drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like quite the opposite, because you have meth, which brings you so up, and then you got the heroin that brings you down.
Down.
And now, was there a man involved? Was your father or your husband living at the time with you? Or was it just both of you alone?
Well, it was both of us, but it started out with her dad. Okay, and that's where I got hooked,
From her father?
from her dad. Okay.
I see.
And then we got
away.
arrested.
So he was drugs too?
Right.
I see.
And so we made the front page of the news. We made the news when this big arrest came down.
Now, what happened with the arrest?
They found all kinds of, you know, drugs
In the house?
in the house.
So it was a
and
drug bust.
scales and everything, yeah.
So what happened?
And so then he got 18 years for that. And I got a 3-year in a program, 2-year suspended sentence. I just, you know.
So you didn't go to
started-
prison?
No,
But your husband went to prison?
yeah.
I
But he
see.
he did 8 of the 18. But he got to be a barber in there, so he put himself to good use and everything.
So when he got out, he did hair?
Yeah, and he's excellent.
Really? So while you were going through this and you're both living together, were you making a living? Were you working?
Yes, I was a beautician. I had my own beauty shop. My dad got it for me, but this is while I'm clean. I'd stay clean for like 6 months
Oh, you could do that?
at the most.
You could actually get off heroin for 6 months?